Hey guys, Mike here. So, it's one of those things where I like to rail against the politicians because I don't like politicians to begin with. But man, I mean, they're making a killing. And I always say, if you can't beat them, join them. And actually, in this report, I'm going to show you this data that there's actually multiple politicians who crushed Nancy Pelosi's returns, right? And she's famous for the purchases she made in 2020, or her husband that is, in 2020 and 2021. I mean, killing it. But man, there's some other politicians that are doing way, way better, okay? And so I'm like, why not know who they are? And I'm going to obviously do way more research into them to figure out if they're reporting on time so you can actually try to track what they're doing, because they're trading with insider information. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to show it to you. And I mean, there's just no way. They're killing every hedge fund. They're killing the SPY. They're doing better than anybody else. And guess what? They're running the country, baby. Full-time gig. Imagine that. They're doing better than people that do this full-time, right? So, if you get anything out of it, hit the like and subscribe button for me, guys, and let's get right into this hot mess. So this report comes out on usualwells.com 4 days ago, and they did extensive research on how the politicians have done in 2021 compared to 2020. And I mean, look at this right here. Congress bought and sold nearly $290 million throughout the year. They beat the SPY like it was just standing still. It's pretty unbelievable how well they did. And they pretty much beat almost every hedge fund out there. And so what you're going to see here is a lot of unusual trades and politicians trading in sectors that are affected by bills they have signed and actually tried to get passed as well. And these stats right here are almost mind-boggling, because remember, these people have full-time jobs running the country supposedly, right? And so they bought and sold nearly $290 million in stocks, corresponding to 3,500 transactions by 105 members. And that's the one thing that's really crazy. 430 members didn't take a trade. It was 105 members only that did all these transactions. 140 million in option contracts, guys. 270 plus transactions by 6 members. 124 million in other securities like private equity funds. 200 plus transactions by 19 members. And 500,000 in cryptocurrencies. 25 transactions by 6 members only. And so this is not a political video, so I know everybody has a team. I do not. But, if you have a team, understand. If you look at stocks down there, it's split 50-50. I will say Democrats really like options, and that was led a lot by Nancy Pelosi, by the way. But, both sides do it, so don't try to think your side is, innocent in all this. And if you watch the whole video, you'll see what I'm talking about. Again, I don't care about the politics of this. This is what's going on in the government as a whole. And you can see right here, stocks back in 2020, 514 million dropped off by 200 million in 2021, and that's because 2 senators out of Georgia didn't get reelected, and those were 2 of the senators that sold everything and during when they got that briefing about that thing that's spreading around the country and everything and shut down our world. And so they got voted out, so they hadn't been here for 2021, and they sold and traded over 200 million in stocks last year. I'm sorry, 2020 that is. And the real thing is, look at the House and the Senate, right? So total value of stocks traded by Congress in 2021, the House sold 146 million worth of stock, purchased 143 million. But look at the Senate. Look how different this is. Sold 16 million, and then 6 million was purchased. And I'll get back to that in just a minute and ask you a intriguing question, which I think you'll know the answer to anyway. And this is the top 10 stocks bought by the House of Representatives, and pay close attention to this compared to the Senate. What do you see going down the left-hand side? Microsoft, Google, Apple, a lot of tech, right? Like you see a lot of tech. And then when we go down here, you can see right here, this is the Senate, right? So, CLF, X, AA, I mean, all these right here, Oxy. You don't see Wells Fargo. You don't see a whole lot of tech going on there, right? And then you see the stocks they sold, though. Look what they sold. NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Facebook, Google, PayPal. A lot of tech they got rid of. And so, of course, why is that? Why does the House of Representatives trade so much more volume and deal with cryptocurrencies and high growth stocks versus the Senate? They hardly do any trading, really, right? You can see that. And they sold all the tech stocks off and then bought safer, more value stocks, cyclical stocks, that kind of stuff. Why is that? Well, put it in the comments what you think, and you can pause if you want to, but the real answer has got to be simple. The age. The senators are much older on average, right? I mean, they're mostly 55 or above, And then you got your House of Representatives. This is the younger crew that come in, okay? And probably, I would guess, if I had to guess, maybe 40, 42, somewhere in there is the average age. Might be a little older. And so you got your senators. They're close to retirement. They don't want crypto and growth stocks in there anymore. And especially when they saw what's going to be happening this year, they definitely rotated out of those and went right into it. It was like Wells Fargo has been kicking butt over the last like 2 or 3 months. And so, stocks like that. And then you got your House of Representatives. They don't mind at all trade on insider knowledge or, running the growth stocks when they know there's something good coming behind it to pump it up, or buying cryptocurrencies, that kind of stuff. And so, that's just something I found interesting to say the least. But it's pretty, I'm sure that's got to be the reason. Let me know in the comments if you think differently. And so the other thing is, you think Nancy Pelosi is like the queen of all of it, right? Like her husband's just been killing it, and I put videos out showing, that's exactly what they've been doing. And she's just well followed because she's well known, and she does report her trades on time, which I'm glad to see. But I didn't know how outdone she was by some of these other congressmen, who I'm going to do a whole deep dive into to see if they're reporting on time, what they're buying, and because this is one of those things, people mimic Warren Buffett's portfolio, Charlie Munger's portfolio, all kinds of people who will see somebody's portfolio, and you can't obviously mirror it exactly, but some people see that and say, man, these guys, because they have insider information, they have knowledge, they have sources that you just, the normal retail investor just cannot get, right? And so look at these guys right here. And this is members of Congress that beat the SPY in 2021. And there I point out Nancy Pelosi, right? And she crushed it. You'll see at the bottom when we get to the SPY. She killed the SPY. But look at these other guys: Dan Crenshaw, John Curtis, French Hill, Brian Mast. And I definitely got to figure out who Austin Scott is and where he represents at, because this dude crushed them. He did almost 2.5 times as well as Nancy did. And then if you just scroll down, you'll see these guys. There's a whole list of them down here. But you can see how much better they did than the SPY, which is at the very bottom right there. They killed it. And then if you go on, look at this right here. Here's Austin Scott again. Look at some of the gains these guys had, right? 780% on fuel cell, 571% on fuel cell. Brian Mess, 564%. But just look at all these gainers they had. These are their best trades. And make sure you look at this compared to the Senate, which I'm about to pull up right now. And you can just see they just crushed it. Tilray, which is the MJ stock. And then look over at the Senate. Not bad. Tommy Tuberville, 127% on AA there. Tesla, 95%. And you'll see Tommy Tuberville's name a lot to the left. He trades a whole bunch. But look at that. Those are great gains, but you compare that to the House of Representatives, not even close, is it? And then, looking at some of these unusual trades, look at this right here, the Tilray trade, which I showed you. The guy killed it, like 563%, right? And it goes on to say the House Republican Brian Mast Tilray's purchase and subsequent sale at its all-time high in early 2021 for a return of 563% gets even sketchier when we remember that he bought Tilray before voting in support of the MJ Opportunity Reinvestment and Expungement, which More Act, in November. Lockheed Martin won a $10.9 billion contract to modernize the Air Force's F-22s. House Republican Kevin Hern, who sits on the House Committee on the Budget, bought Lockheed Martin stocks back in August. He bought another round, this time up to $100K in LMNT just 2 weeks before this news hit. And of course, not to be outdone, House Democrat Kathy Manning, who sits on the House Committee on Foreign Affairs, bought up to $30K of LMT stocks on October 22nd, just 2 weeks before the news hit as well. And of course, here's my fellow Alabamian, former Auburn head coach Tommy Tuberville, now a senator. He ended up selling 15,000 Microsoft stock in late June. This was 2 weeks before the $10 billion Jedi contract between Microsoft and Dodd was canceled. Think Tommy knew something? Tuberville sat on the Senate Armed Services Committee privy to the defense contracts. Like I said, this man was a football coach. He didn't work for a hedge fund or anything like that. So, I don't know what the deal with this is, but and he's smart, right? He rolled into BABA, and what's happened to BABA this year? I showed you. It's ran up, and it's gone up from like 113 around 135 now. And so, he's making a killing on it, especially his options are making a killing. So it's amazing to see, but, this is our Congress hard at work. And again, I say, these are guys who work full-time, supposedly running the country. And it's pretty obvious, and most of them do their thing, right? 400 something that made no trades. That's the right thing. But these 105, they are busy bees, buddy. And if you're telling me they're not using insider information that we don't have to make these trades, I don't know what planet you're on right now, but anyway, give me your opinion in the comments what you think about it. But I don't know, maybe it kind of lets you know the state of our country and why it's that way when you got these guys up there just not really working for us or the country, but boy, they're doing a lot of work for themselves. Okay, and this is why a lot of people run for Congress, not to serve and try to make things better. It's because, man, if you're privy to this kind of information, it's unbelievable. I mean, you're talking about power. That's power. Money is power, right? And they got a whole boatload of it, okay? So anyway, I always like to put this stuff out there, and I'm going to do a lot more research on those guys that killed Nancy Pelosi's returns and see if they're reporting on time, what they're investing in, because there's always a way to try to make money off that kind of stuff. I've actually done it before, and I'll let you know what I find on those guys. If you know anything, let me know in the comments. Let us all know, and hope you guys have a good one, and I will see you tomorrow. By the way, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and share that video, guys, okay? And get the word out there for people that don't know. All right, see you guys later. Hit that link down there in the bottom. Sign up for a BlockFi account to earn 9% on your Stablecoins, 9.5% on your Tether, and 4 to 5% on your other cryptocurrency, as well as earn the 1.5% back on Bitcoin for every purchase you make on that credit card, guys. I will see you later.